Diary. It has been quite the week. Here is a look into the tangle-jumble thoughts of me. Love, Amanda. Dear Diary, March 29th, 2015. This past weekend, my husband and I found ourselves in a situation where we were around a large number of people. The women all seemed to have an ample amount of self-confidence. I am not the type of woman who is able to walk around and exude self-confidence. I am generally walking around with thoughts of how others are judging me. How they probably noticed the acne that hasn't gone away at age 33. How they noticed my love handles, my muffin top, my fupa, my cankles, my flabby arms, my extra chins, my legs, my feet, anything else I can think of. I get nervous to talk to people because I worry they will think I'm not smart enough or not worthy of their time. As I looked at all of these women around me, all I could think about was how amazing they all were. I didn't think once about how they didn't deserve the self-confidence they showed. I didn't think about their body except to see their beauty. It made me realize that most people probably were too preoccupied with themselves to spend any time thinking about me. And to be honest, if they were wasting their time thinking about my body flaws, they probably aren't worth my time. Every part of my body has been earned. I have fought depression and anorexia and bulimia. I was on crutches for a year. I have gone through an intense 9-month teacher training program that left no time for exercising, eating right, or even hanging out with my husband. I also carried 2 very large 9.5-pound babies around. They left me with some crazy stretch marks that I lovingly refer to as my Maddie and Charlie tattoos. I have started growing a little tuft of white hair right at the top of my forehead. My teenage and even my early adult life was not great, and I am finally starting to come into myself, so I look at my white hairs as proof that those years are far behind me. So, diary, back to this past weekend. I decided to just fake it until I made it. I pretended that I too had self-confidence. When my brain tried to push in thoughts of doubt, I pushed them away. Slowly, I stopped thinking about the nagging thoughts and was just present. The one person I am most worried about how they think about me is my husband. He sees things that I can strategically cover up. Those ugly stretch marks that I love but know are not all that attractive. As I stopped listening to the doubts, I was able to forget projecting those thoughts onto him. I was able to be closer to him without the worry of what he might be thinking. I don't know that it is completely true, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't actually sit there and catalog all of the imperfections I have. Once I was out of my own head, I was able to see that he was more worried about the flavors that were coming out in his drink. I was able to look for those subtleties as well. We were able to reconnect, and it was amazing. Diary. It is hard to know just the right amount to tell you. You are not the pen and paper version I can hide away and hope my mom never finds. You are the digital copy that will be around for anyone to find, including my mom. And, hey Mom, thanks for listening. Someday my past students and coworkers may stumble upon you. Someday my daughters or my mother-in-law may find you. I know that I could choose any content I wanted to be my practice podcast, but the inner ramblings of my mind are the most accessible for me. So I use you, diary, to try to put a message out. My message this week is for anyone out there that is lacking in self-confidence. I want them to stop listening to internal doubts. People need to fake it until they make it, and eventually they will see that the only people who matter in their life are those that support them. The haters have way too much time on their hands if they can focus their attention on someone else's flaws. Diary, I hope this entry finds the ears of someone who might really need to hear it. Thanks for giving me a chance to spread a message. Until next time, friend. Love, A. P.S. Everyone is beautiful in their own way. P.S.S. We made it into iTunes and Stitcher, buddy. How excited are we? Very, right? Now we are hanging out with our pals of #MePodcasters. People should totally subscribe to us and leave us a comment. Then we will know others are listening. Today's outtakes are going to be just a little different. I am not a woman that has a large amount of self-confidence, but I decided that I was going to fake it until I made it. So I put on my best self-confident face and I strutted my stuff. Even if I was pretending this past weekend, the payoffs were huge. I am not a woman who has extreme confidence. I actually dealt with anorexia and bulimia, and I know that those things are not anything that I want to show my daughters. I am a woman that thinks that every single person out there is judging me by my appearance, and they're thinking poorly of it. And slowly but surely, I'm realizing that's probably not the case. Most likely, nobody is really taking the time to think about how I look. Not a single person. I think too often we get stuck in our own brains, thinking that everybody else is thinking the worst of us. If beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I look at women and I see how beautiful they are with all their imperfections, I need to start looking at myself that same way. And who knows, maybe they were just faking it too. Diary, I live in a very crazy, hectic house. And I can keep up with it all most of the time. I helped make this crazy, hectic house. Just like the science of it all, that a woman's body can put together these pieces and parts, and all of a sudden, it's a baby. And that baby grows up and becomes these amazing little creatures. I always think that maybe he's looking at me and he doesn't see the stretch marks on my belly as something that's beautiful and amazing and something to be proud of. But I carried 2 9.5-pound babies around, and I'm actually really proud of them. So that's it.
That's it? Is that really it?
Yeah, that's really
Are there
it.
any more PSs? PSSs? PPSs?
PPBSSS?
Outtake 2s, 3s?
No, that's it, except for this part that we're gonna add in. What do you have to say?
I think you're very honest. That you just need to not care what other people think, because they're probably not thinking about you. You know, I'll never forget the 2 days where your body was an amazing machine. Despite what maybe your head was thinking. It was magical and machine-like at the same time. I guess that's nature, but you know, doing what it did to get our wonderful babies out into this world, it's an amazing thing, and you should be proud of it and embrace it. And that's I think about that. I see you and I like you. That's what I see. You have a good body. I don't focus on parts of your body. I'm not off-put by parts of your body. But when I look at you, I see you. Someone that I'm attracted to. And who I love.
Can you make sure I know that more often?
I can try. I will remind you. I might not as often as I would without the 2 little rugrats, but yeah. I will try.
Thank you.
Thank you.